In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix your hip pain in a very easy to follow, step-by-step guide. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over easy exercises that can give both quick and long-lasting hip pain relief. A big cause of hip pain comes from tightness and weakness in the muscles that help support the hips. This includes the glutes and the hip flexors. To make getting relief easy, I'm going to break the video up into a step-by-step guide that's going to help lengthen and, more importantly, strengthen these muscles. But these exercises also will help put a lot of good mobility back into the hips and relieve symptoms caused from hip arthritis. All of these parts are different, but they are meant to work together and also in order. So start with the first one and then work your way towards the last. As a bonus, all of the exercises can be done at home, require no special equipment, and you may find give quick hip pain relief even within 30 seconds. So let's get started and fix your hip pain right now. So let's begin by warming up the muscles that help support the hip. This one is a really important step because we're going to bring blood flow in, increase circulation, loosen those muscles up, and just make it less likely that we irritate them later on through exercises. Here's a really easy one that you can do in bed or on a floor. Just start off lying flat on your back, knees bent like this, feet flat. We're going to do what is known as a windshield wiper because the movement mimics a windshield wiper. So my legs are going to be roughly hip width apart. During this exercise, you want to tighten your core a little bit and keep your back as flat as possible. All the movement is going to come through our hips. So just start off by turning your knees towards one direction, all the way down as much as you can until you feel a really deep stretch forming over the lower back, hips, and more importantly, into the glutes. It should feel like a really deep stretch over the hips themselves. What we're focusing on is internal and external rotation with this exercise, so it's a really good hip opener. Once you can't go any further and feel that deep stretch, you want to hold this right here for about 3 seconds. You're going to relax and then you're going to repeat it on the other side. Do this one nice and slowly for about 10 to 15 repetitions in both directions. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. The second part we're going to focus on is targeting the hip flexors right here on the top part of the leg. A lot of people are used to the knee to the chest exercise, but with this one, what we're going to do instead is resist against that movement. So have your knee bent roughly at 90 degrees, take your hands right here, put them right on the top of the knee. We're going to take this knee and drive it towards our chest, but we're going to resist against it with our hand. As you do this, you're going to feel a ton of muscles on the top part of the leg start to fire. This includes the psoas and the hip flexors. Push into it as much as you can. Hold this one comfortably for about 3 seconds. You're going to relax and then repeat this one 10 to 15 times. And then you're just going to switch to the other side and repeat. So after we have the muscles warmed up, we're going to move on to the most important part, strengthening exercises. Without a doubt, if you want long-lasting hip pain relief, you have to make everything stronger that helps support it. I'm going to go over 2 different exercises that are going to hit different muscles. With the first exercise, we're going to focus more on anterior chain muscles. That is core muscles, pelvic, and also the hip flexors. With the second one, we're going to focus more on posterior chain. That is hamstrings on the legs, glutes, and also the lower back. So it's really important that we focus both on the front and the back. This first one is known as a 3D dead bug. And again, this one's going to target more of those hip flexors. So this one can be done in bed or on a floor. Just start lying flat on your back. What we're going to do is bend our knees roughly at 90 degrees, knees straight upward towards the ceiling. I like to start off by tightening my core muscles. It's kind of like taking your belly button towards your spine and then also squeezing the glutes. From there, the movement is very straightforward. We're just going to lower one leg down just like this, straightening our knee. The key with this exercise, though, is not to let the leg or your foot touch the bed or the floor. Just let it hover slightly above. In this position, you're going to feel a ton of muscles firing. I really feel it into my core and also on the top part of the leg. Hold this one comfortably for 5 seconds. You're going to relax and then repeat it on the other side. You want to do this one nice and slowly for about 10 to 15 repetitions in both directions. From there, if you feel like you have a little bit more energy, you can always throw in another set or two. If you want to take this one to the next level and target some more muscles, including the glutes, let's add a dynamic 3D component into it. So as we lower our leg, what you want to do is turn your foot inward as much as you can until you feel those muscles around the hips start to fire. From there, we're going to take our leg right here and sweep it inward as much as we can. Again, you're going to feel a ton fire around that hip. Hold this one for 5 seconds. You're going to relax. And then what you're going to do is the opposite direction. Turn your foot outward as much as you can and then sweep your leg outwards. With this one, you should feel a lot more in the inner part of the leg right here. Again, a 5-second hold. But give that one a try and do it on both sides to keep everything in balance. So moving on to the second exercise, we're going to do what is called the planking bridge. This one is going to target more of our back side. To get into position, we're going to lie on one side. Doesn't matter which one because we're going to do it on both. But you want your body in a nice straight line, knees bent at 90 degrees. You want to support your upper body on your forearm just like this. But the movement is very straightforward. Let's tighten our core to begin with, taking our belly button towards our spine and then squeezing our glutes to activate those muscles. From there, we're going to take the top part of our hip and drive it upward towards the ceiling. You really want to focus on moving through your hips and pelvis with this one. The more that you go up, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation of muscles off to the side, the obliques, going into the hips and the glutes. Hold this one comfortably for 5 seconds. You're going to relax and then repeat this one 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. And then from there, if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, you can always throw in another set or two and then just switch to the other side to keep everything in balance. In the second part, we're going to focus on the bridge, which is going to target more into the legs, the glutes, and the lower back. This is one of my favorite exercises. So start off lying flat on your back, legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. Again, let's tighten our core muscles and squeeze our glutes. You can take your hands and put them off to your side or put them on your hips. But the movement, very easy. We're just taking our hips and driving them upward towards the ceiling, trying to get a nice straight line from our knees to our hips to our shoulders. If you're unable to get into this position because of tightness, pain, or weakness, like let's say you can only go up an inch, do the best you can. Over time, hopefully you'll gain strength and flexibility to get into this position. But I feel a ton of muscles starting to fire. Again, lower back, glutes right here, and then the hamstrings. Hold this one for 5 seconds, relax, repeat it 10 to 15 times, and with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Again, if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, throw in another set or two. So let's take the bridge to the next level to target some more muscles, including the hamstrings right here. So with this one, let's get back into our bridge position, but then this time around, point your toes upward and drive your heels downward into the bed or the floor, and then walk out very slowly. You'll really feel it in the back of the leg. So give that one a try for a couple of repetitions just to help strengthen the legs a little bit more. You can also do what is called the clamshell, which is going to target the hips and the glutes just a little bit more. With this one, we're going to put our feet together and then take our knees right here and drive them outward as much as we can until you feel a really good stretch forming in the inner part of the thigh towards the groin. Once you feel that, the movement is very similar. You're just driving your hips upward towards the ceiling like that bridge exercise. But you'll just feel the muscles around the hips get hit just a little bit differently. 5-second hold, relax. You can do that one 10 to 15 times. In the final part, we're going to focus on stretching. Stretches are really good to do after exercises because they'll keep the muscles loose and also help avoid soreness. But with stretching, you can pretty much do it throughout the day, anytime that you need quick muscle tightness and pain relief. I want to show you a combination stretch that's going to target a lot of muscles associated with hip pain. The first one is called the 3D hip flexor stretch. It's going to focus more on the psoas and the hip flexors on the front part of the leg. You need a chair that is going to be sturdy, hopefully one without wheels, but you can also do this in front of a staircase. So start off with very good upright posture, put one foot up on that stair or the chair, the other leg is going to go straight behind you like this. What I'm going to do from here is a lunging motion. So I'm just going to lunge forward. The more that you lunge forward with your body weight, the more that you're going to feel a deep stretch forming on the back leg, right over the front part. So once you feel that, you're going to hold this position right here for about 20 to 30 seconds. Relax and then try to repeat this one 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. From there, switch to the other side to keep everything in balance. But let's take this one to the next level by now putting some dynamic movement in there to get that 3D component. So let's get back into our original stretch like this, but put your arms out in front of you, kind of like a genie position. What you want to do is move through your waist and rotate towards one side. So I'm going towards the side of the front knee right here. You're going to feel the muscles in the back and also across the hip get hit just a little bit differently. So give that one a try. You can also rotate in the other direction, so away from the side right here that is in front. So give that one a try too. If any of them give you more relief, at that point, throw some more repetitions in. Another one that I like to focus on is a side lean tilt, which is going to target a muscle called the quadratus lumborum, which runs pretty much from the bottom of the ribs to the hips. This one right here is highly associated with one-sided lower back pain and hip pain. So let's have very good upright posture. Let's get back into our original stretch, but this time around, whatever side that is in front right here, what I'm going to do is put my arm above my head like this and then tilt my body away. You'll feel a deep opening stretch. Again, focus on feeling it from the bottom of the ribs to the hip. 20 to 30 second hold, relax. Try to repeat this one up to 3 to 5 times and then switch to the other side to keep everything in balance. So let's move on to the second part of this stretch. The second part of this stretch is called the 3D figure 4. It's going to target more across the glutes and into a muscle called the piriformis. Again, we can use our sturdy chair for this one, or you can sit on a staircase. So have very good upright posture. Whatever side that you're having pain, let's say it's a lot on my right side, let's take that side's ankle and place it over our other side's knee. So when you look down, it should look like a figure 4. If this position is very painful to get into, what you can do instead is straighten the other side's leg, put your ankle over your shin and grab your pant leg or in front of the ankle and then slide your ankle upward into position, just like this. But what we're going to do is try to actively engage that glute muscle to begin with. So instead of pressing into it like this, what you want to do is just press the knee downward towards the floor until you start to feel that muscle start to fire, and then hold this position right here during the exercise. From there, you're going to take your arms like this, cross them over your shoulders, and then simply pivoting forward through your waist, go forward. So taking your chest downward towards the floor. When you do this, it's really going to intensify that stretch into the glutes. So only go to your comfort level. Hold this one comfortably for 20 to 30 seconds. You're going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this one 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. And then from there, you're going to switch to the other side to keep everything in balance. Let's take this one to the next level by now putting some different motions in there to get that dynamic movement in there and hit those muscles just a little bit more. So very similar to that first part, what we're going to do is pivot forward again, but this time around we're going to rotate towards one side. So with this one, I'm going to rotate away from the side of pain and see how that feels. You can also rotate towards the side of pain. See how that feels. If any of those positions offer you more relief, throw some more repetitions in at that point. You can also focus on targeting that quadratus lumborum. What we're going to do this time around though is have very good upright posture, so we're not leaning forward, and we're just going to tilt away from the side of pain, focusing on feeling that stretch from the bottom of the ribs towards the hip. 20 to 30 second hold, release it. You can do this one 3 to 5 times. But go through all of those motions, and if any of them help you out a little bit more, throw more repetitions in, and I hope that gives you very quick hip pain relief. If the exercises helped, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.